Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So this is a series that I have not done for about a year now. Some of you that are very well versed in my channel and the history of my channel might remember this series, but essentially this is a video series where we look at a very popular archetype that was used in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Animes, and we look at a few staple cards that were actually never used in the anime. We've done this for Odd Eyes, we've done this for Blue Eyes, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at Zane Truesdale, aka Hellkaiser, aka Rio Marufuji, aka The Man, and his Cyber Dragon deck. Now, I'll be honest, in most of these videos, a lot of the monsters that we go over were printed after that character's show ended. So Yu-Gi-Oh! GX came to an end a little over 14 years ago, and therefore any Cyber Dragon that was printed after 2008 is obviously going to be eligible for this list. I'm going to be picking 5. I'm going to mention a few honorable mentions as well. Before we get into the video, I do want to thank today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. If you have not heard of Raid Shadow Legends at this point, you probably are living under a rock. Raid Shadow Legends is an awesome, completely free-to-play game where you can take on tons of bosses or just admire and collect the champions. You guys know how much I love aesthetically pleasing designs, and I think my 3 favorite champions are Harvest Jack, Yannicka, and easily Brachus the Shifter. I mean, just look at this dude. What's not to love? Also, Raid's got something extra special happening right now. They've released a legendary champion based off of MMA and pro wrestling legend Ronda Rousey. Yes, the Ronda Rousey. You can get Ronda for free right now, whether you're a new or longtime player, just by logging into Raid. All you've got to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and February 20th, and Ronda Rousey is yours. That's all there is to it. To celebrate Ronda's arrival in Raid, you can also use the special promo code RAIDRONDA, available for all users. Just enter the promo code RAIDRONDA in-game and all these goodies can be yours. Also, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can get your exclusive rewards in Raid right now. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan the QR code here on the screen, and you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Aina, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in-game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here, available for 30 days for new players only. And once you're in-game, come find me under the name Super Deep Prot, and if you're fast enough, you can join my clan. Cyber Dragons are probably one of the most popular GX era archetypes ever. If you've played Duel Links, if you've played Master Duel, it's just a matter of time before you go up against one of these decks. And if it wasn't for Hero archetype, I'd feel very confident saying this is probably the most popular GX anime archetype ever when it comes to the main game. And a lot of people probably know the Xyz monster Cyber Dragon Nova, but Cyber Dragon Nova is actually not eligible for this list. This is a monster that was shown a few times on billboards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, and so for that reason, it technically did appear in the anime, meaning we will not be including Nova on this list. But starting this list off is Cyber Dragon Core, which was released in the Structure Deck Cyber Dragon in 2015 in the TCG, 2013 in the OCG. Many people have speculated that this is what Cyber Dragon looks like under the armor, so that's pretty cool from a lore perspective. And I feel like, again, if you've built a Cyber Dragon deck or gone up against one recently, you probably recognize this card. This is a very good Cyber Dragon card. If this card is normal summoned, add 1 Cyber Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. You can only use 1 Dragon Core effect per turn and only once that turn. So obviously you can see why this card is such a combo starter for the Cyber Dragon archetype, but it was revealed many, many years after GX came to an end, so of course this card was never used by Zane Truesdale. Another unused Cyber Dragon is Cyber Dragon Sieger, I'm definitely saying that name wrong, which was released in April 2018 in the Cybernetic Horizon series. This is the most new, I guess you can say, Cyber Dragon that I am including of the 5 on this list. This monster, fun fact, appears in the Cybernetic Overflow trap card, which is a very vital and lethal trap card in Cyber Dragons. I feel like that card alone has killed me so many times in Duel Links especially. 2 machine monsters, including Cyber Dragon, in order to summon this Cyber Dragon Link monster. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or in the grave. During each battle phase, if this card is not declared an attack, as a quick effect, you can target 1 machine monster you control with 2100 attack. For the rest of this turn, that monster gains 2100 attack and defense. Also, neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. So a really cool Cyber Dragon Link monster there that, of course, was never going to be used by Zane because Links were not debuted until Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. I do have to interject really briefly. There is some interesting trivia here when it comes to these Cyber Dragons and Zane Truesdale in general. We know that Zane existed in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 world. This was confirmed because Zane's name was mentioned on a chalkboard at Duel Academy in, I believe, episode 116. So we know this character at some point existed in Arc 5. I have my own theories on what may have happened to him, but if he did make an appearance in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, there's a real chance that he would have used some of the cards that we are mentioning. So even though all of these cards did get released after GX ended, because of his confirmed existence in Arc 5, there was a chance that if he appeared, he would have used some of these cards. And the third card we're going to go over is Cyber Dragon Zwei, which was released in November 2009 in the Absolute Power Force set. So this was released only a year and a half after GX came to an end. This is definitely the Cyber Dragon that was closest to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX coming to an end. The attack and defense of this card are exactly 600 less than Cyber Dragon's. This card bears resemblance to the left head of Cyber Twin Dragon. And another fun fact, this card apparently is a short print rare, which makes it harder to find in Absolute Power Force packs. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can reveal a spell in your hand. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon until the end phase. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 300 during the damage step only. So, nothing to really bat an eye at there. Number 4, Cyber Dragon Infinity. This is probably the most popular of the Cyber Dragons that will be mentioned in this video. And wouldn't it have been crazy to see Zane use XZs, especially if he was going to show up in Arc 5? He probably would have been rivaling the XZs archetype. So it would have been a pretty cool story element there. This monster was released October 2015, so before Arc 5 ended, in the Breakers of Shadow set. This is an upgraded form of Cyber Dragon Nova, and a really fun fact is this monster actually appears on the Infinite Impermanence artwork, one of the best trap cards that we have probably gotten in the last 5 years in regards to the metagame. You need 3 level 6 light monsters in order to summon Cyber Dragon Infinity. Once per turn, you can also XZ summon this by using Cyber Dragon Nova you control as material. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up attack monster on the field, attach it to this card as material. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, as a quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So, yeah, a really pesky card that would have been awesome to see animated. A couple of quick honorable mentions that could have made this list, I just left them out, is Cyber Dragon Nashter, Vier, and Hertz. A lot of those are, I believe, German names that stand for like 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe Zwei and Sieger are also German names, so pretty cool that they went with a kind of German theme when it came to some of these Cyber Dragon names. And finally, our 5th unused Cyber Dragon card is Toon Cyber Dragon. And I wanted to mention this one because obviously Zane was never going to use a Toon monster. But it would have been interesting if Pegasus used this card at any point in the franchise. But then again, Pegasus never really appeared after GX. And so the opportunity for him to use this card was pretty minimal. This was released April 2015 in the Clash of Rebellion set. A fun fact about this card card is that in the non-canon duel North American WCQ 2015 special, when Pegasus and Marek squared off, Pegasus drew this card during his first turn and special summoned it via its own effect. So this monster was used in one of those cool voice actor duels, which is pretty awesome. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cannot attack the turn it's summoned. While you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly. So Toon Cyber Dragon, a very typical Toon effect there, and a very similar effect to its main counterpart, which is Cyber Dragon. And guys, those are 5 Cyber Dragons that were never used in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Very simple explanation is that all of the cards we went over in today's video released well after Yu-Gi-Oh! GX came to an end, and well after Zane hung up his dueling boots and went into retirement. It is fascinating, though. If he was going to show up in Arc 5, we know he existed in that universe. Would he have used some of these cards? I think it's very possible. It's funny to me because Infinity and Nova are XZ's Cyber Dragons, and Zane obviously would have been fighting for Fusion. When they invaded the XZ's dimension, would he have maybe used XZ's monsters similarly to how Dennis did in order to kind of catch the XZ's dimension and Heartland off guard? I don't know. Would have been interesting to see that play out. It's always annoyed me that we know he existed in Arc 5, but we never got anything more than that. But guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if I missed any Cyber Dragons, and do you want to see the Cyber Dragon archetype make a return to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime at some point in the future? Be sure to leave your comments down below on which other archetypes you'd like to see me do this for. We have Gem Knights, Dinos, Ancient Gears, Trains, Fossils, Sun Avalons. We certainly have a lot of archetypes that we can kind of dive into with this series, so please let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all so much for watching. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patron, Panther J, to my Diamond tier patrons, Latrell Smith and Jesse Woods, and to my Egyptian God tier patron, Pink Penguin. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon and whoever is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out so much. And if you want some exclusive channel perks, definitely check out both of those sites and features. Be sure to check out my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime content. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.